Roberto Fuentes, president of Mexico, was the first to react. How many missiles are we going to deliver? I understand we must give some for security and the exchange, but we must keep as many as possible. As for the counter-frequency nodes, I see no problem. They would serve us all and could help cut off the KR-TAC invaders' resources. From Beijing, Li Na spoke next. We have 7 fully operational missiles. I propose delivering 2, along with a user manual and some nuclear warheads. They might find them useful in their war. And I support delivering the node formula. It is a shared benefit. The president of Spain intervened cautiously. I agree, but what do we do about the offer to join that galactic authority? Solis replied with brutal pragmatism. Personally, I have no interest in joining. We must prioritize Earth's security. We can be allies if they require it, but not formally integrate for now. I vote for strengthening our defenses, producing more weaponry in exchange for raw materials, deploying combat drones, and continuing to investigate fallen extraterrestrial units to advance in interstellar travel. If we need research help in the future, we will talk to them. Exactly, added the Spanish president. We should also install military bases on the Moon and Mars, even if they are remotely controlled at first. Each nation's scientists must start working on this immediately. President Maxwell agreed and closed the session decisively. It is decided. We will deliver 2 Goliath missiles, the user manual, and the counter-frequency node formula. In exchange, they must continue sending raw materials. And as for me, joining the Galactic Command doesn't interest me either, at least for now. The vote was unanimous, a rare global consensus driven by survival. Immediate logistical orders were activated for the transport of the weaponry and technical documentation. Preparations in the Galactic Chamber. Hours after the delivery, in the Galactic Chamber, Naelth and Solari reviewed the success of the negotiation. The delivery had been satisfactory. They had received a reasonable amount of weaponry and, most importantly, the formula to manufacture the counter-frequency nodes. They gave us what was necessary, Naelth said with slight satisfaction. Now we need to call a meeting with the planetary representatives, but only after Lockster returns. In the meantime, we will continue sending more raw materials. The terrestrials will have enough to work with what we have already sent them. Solari nodded, evaluating the next risks and steps. Additionally, we must appoint a military general to coordinate the local defense when Lockster returns. We will hand over the terrestrial weaponry manual to that general and prepare a detailed defensive strategy. Naelth observed the star map, where enemy fleets were marked as red dots of light advancing inexorably. Lockster's armada and XY-Lars are approaching the hegemony's capital. In a short time, Valerius will notice and begin preparing his defenses. Then we can't waste any more time, Solari replied with a cold but urgent voice. We will get more raw materials and take the first step to establish our military defense. Both shared a tense silence, aware that every decision they made marked the thin line between the survival of the galaxy and enemy dominance. The machinery of war and secret diplomacy had been set in motion. The approach to the capital. On the bridge of XY-Lars' flagship, an atmosphere of dangerous adrenaline floated in the air. XY-Lars' fleet and Locksters were rushing at full speed toward the capital. Suddenly, the synthetic voice of the hegemony's communication system resonated insistently, breaking the tactical silence. Supreme Commander Valerius demands immediate communication with Emperor XY-Lar. General Th-Rak, the fleet commander, directed a glance at his leader. It seems the Supreme Commander has only just learned of our advance, Th-Rak commented. He never expected anyone to dare this, realizing only days before our arrival shows the surprise and lack of preparation they have in a situation like this. The system repeated the warning, the Supreme Commander demands immediate communication. Emperor, will you answer? XY-Lar, somewhat tense but also with contained fury, nodded. Connect audio and video. The link opened. The figure of Supreme Commander Valerius materialized in a bright hologram in the middle of the bridge. Beside him, the shadowed silhouettes of the hegemony elders added weight to the accusation. Valerius's voice resonated with a stony hardness, attempting to impose authority. HFY, halt your army immediately and return to the capital to be judged, Valerius commanded. If you stop now, I will ensure the tribunal grants you some mercy. But you will hold no political or military office. The threat grew colder. If you insist on your march, you will face the death penalty, along with all your generals and even the brilliant Lord Scientist Zarkin. Being one of the few scientists who regulate and process dark energy, it would be a great loss for our empire, but he too will face death if you do not stop now. HFY did not yield. His voice was thick with contained fury. That is not going to happen. We are going to attack and finish this. Your defenses are powerful, but they will not hold against us, and you know it. Besides, you no longer have enough time for organized preparation. Incredulity washed over Valerius's face. What is the reason for this treachery? Did the terrestrials scare you so much that you preferred to attack us directly and provoke a civil war? HFY's face showed a flicker of nervousness, but the emperor instantly regained his composure, his voice becoming accusatory. You forced me into this. You sent us to a certain death. You didn't understand the terrestrial resonance missile. You saw what it did to the central harvester, and yet you ordered us back to the attack without giving us time to organize or gather reinforcements. It was Elder Primus who demanded it, and you approved it with your silence. Now there is no turning back, I am coming for you. Valerius watched him with disbelief, anger displacing surprise. You face three fronts, our planetary defenses and the fleets of Caprax and Archon. HFY cut off the objection with cold determination. They are far away. They won't arrive in time. You will have to bear the consequences of what you have provoked. HFY cut the communication. The bridge returned to dim light, illuminating the inexorable advance toward the capital. In the high command room, Valerius and the elders remained. Elder Primus was silent with a somber face. Commander Valerius, almost unsure how to react, ordered the head of the planetary defense forces, prepare the defenses. Activate the orbital platforms and mobilize all reserves. Communicate with Caprax and Archon, tell them to mobilize at full speed. If we resist long enough, perhaps one of them will arrive in time. Let all the power of the hegemony concentrate here. If HFY wants civil war, he shall have it. Alarms began to blare in the capital, Toxis Prime, marking the start of a storm that would decide the fate of the hegemony. Location, galactic nexus of the new council. Naelth and Solari looked at each other. They knew this was inevitable. He's going to try to convince us to have Lockster withdraw and leave HFY alone, Solari murmured. That won't happen, at least not until Valerius's regime is ended once and for all. We need Lockster and his forces to complete their mission, and in the interim, prepare our defenses for his return. When Valerius falls, the hegemony won't attack us immediately. First, they will have to resolve their power struggle between the three remaining leaders, HFY, Caprax, and Archon. By the time they resolve that mess, our galaxy will be prepared, even if they unite against us. I want to see the face this nefarious being makes when he asks for help. It might be the last time we see his hideous face. Let it be for history. Save every frame, every cycle of audio and video. This will give us power in the future. When all this ends, we will play it on every world in the Milky Way, so everyone knows it was us, along with the terrestrials, who liberated the galaxy from the terror of this plague. Not like the old, cowardly council. Connecting full audio and visual, Solari announced. The image of Valerius stabilized. New council, Valerius began, his voice resonating with forced authority. I have heard of you. HFY gave you the green light to eliminate your old council, and in that moment, you took advantage to seize power. It was a good move, I admit. But joining him to directly attack the capital, it is a suicidal act. I don't understand how you dared to go so far.